Guys, I just wanted to make a quick video. Of course, as I always try to do, demystify the process. Just want to talk for 5 minutes, tell you guys what's going on, and then I'll get out of your hair. So, I was just admitted to the University of Chicago School of Law, and it was one of the greatest moments, I think, within this cycle for me. Being someone who is first generation American, first gen college student with almost no support from my family, and to get into these spaces, the U Chicago Law School had about 15% acceptance rate, and has one of the smallest law school classes in the field of law schools. Some advice that I would love to just share with people is to not listen to individuals who say that it's all numbers. As you guys have known, as I have publicly stated, this process for me has been really interesting because I am below the medians of a lot of the schools that I applied to. Have I gotten some rejections? I think I've only gotten one, and I've gotten about five acceptance. No, four acceptances so far. Pending for some other schools. So as you see, my application has been really competitive, and I think what has allowed me to overcome some of the numbers. If people say that it's just because I'm black, there are a lot of black applicants who don't get to top law schools. Don't think that it takes them over the moon that much. There are a lot of applicants who get into these schools that are below both medians, that are not people of color. So, guys, let's get off that real quick, right? I think what people can take from my story and my journey is that it doesn't necessarily matter, right, what your GPA or LSAT is. What matters more is who you are as an individual. How are you providing services? And I like to tell people, right, the biggest and most important thing in this process is to ask yourself a question from the admissions committee standpoint, which is, what kind of attorney will this person be? If you're someone who has been locked in your room studying all day, you haven't really done much to impact the wider scope around you, more likely than not, you won't be an attorney that uses the law to make a major impact and a major change. If you're someone who doesn't have the highest GPA or the highest LSAT, but you're constantly outward focused, you see problems in your neighborhood, you try your best to make a difference, that does so much more for your application than I believe a 170 or a 4.0. For some people who have grade inflation in their schools, a 4.9. But in all seriousness, though, I think you need to really work on your ability to connect and transform your neighborhood around you, and you need to go from that point. An extension of that is to believe that you're worth it. I tell people all the time, I did not write an addenda for my GPA or LSAT. Why wouldn't I write an addenda, right? Like, why would I apologize for something that I really tried to work hard on and it just couldn't connect at that time? I believe enough in myself and my application to say, hey, it's worth it. So look, don't apologize for who you are. Don't apologize for your life unless you committed some illegal activity. Then you got to explain that away. But if you didn't break the law, you just make mistakes. We're all human, and I think people sense that when they read an application. I think that my application was distinctly human, and that's why I'm so proud of it. So, when I was admitted to University of Chicago, I was admitted to other T14 schools, so I got into a top 5, top 10. But I also applied to regional schools. I love Georgia, so I applied to UGA, got in. I applied to Fordham, I got in. I don't think that I'll go to Fordham because they don't want to give me any money. That's a conversation for another day. And I did negotiate it, and they told me that they don't negotiate twice. Or they don't, they give the offer, and from that point of the offer, they're not going to ask again. So, or they're not going to reconsider, which is very disappointing because, really knocks at their yield. Maybe I would have won if they would have made me a really great scholarship offer. Who knows? But I don't I want to make sure people realize something here, right? People who tell you you have a low LSAT, you have a low GPA, you are automatically invalid for this opportunity to get into these top schools. They are absolutely positively wrong. You are much bigger than your LSAT and GPA. And if you need help, right, just try to message me, try to contact me, leave a comment. I'll send you my email, and then we can work on your application together, and I can review it for you. I just want to learn and help and support you guys through this process. It's not too complicated. It's not that scary. You are worth it. You deserve this, and you will win. So, thank you guys so much for your time. I'm above the 5-minute mark. So have a good one. Stay amazing and apply. And of course, my favorite thing to say, always, always, always dream big.